and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person, and I do have a members-only channel with a lot of perks for members, including weekly live workshops with a different manifesting topic each week, weekly live group coaching, a lot of exclusive content, monthly challenges for a chance to win a free one-on-one coaching session with me, and a lot more. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website or to the membership channel. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I wanted to offer a slightly different perspective on something that tends to be a common experience among many people who are manifesting a specific person. And that experience is none other than manifesting the opposite to what you're wanting, to what you're hoping for, to what you've been intending with your specific person. I wanted to give a slight twist to that and explain to you guys and demonstrate to you guys how this can actually be a good thing and how you can turn this around so that it can actually be a key experience in manifesting your SP. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So as you know, I talk to a lot of you every single day. I coach many of you. I have many of you on my members channel, and I also see your comments, of course. And as I said in my intro, this tends to be an unpleasant, undesirable, but unfortunately common experience where you've been manifesting your SP, perhaps your mental diet, your mental and emotional states are not on point. Perhaps you find yourself dwelling in those unfavorable states for a long time or at least some time. And then you see unfavorable things manifest. In some cases, you might even see the exact opposite to what you want manifesting. Now, obviously, for most people, this is an unpleasant experience. This is an experience that's undesirable. And it's also an experience that tends to set people back, or at the very least, it tends to create additional resistance, and an experience that most people, quite frankly, are dreading. However, what if I told you that you can take this exact experience, this experience that most people are dreading, this experience that most people don't even want to think about as a possibility, and turn it into the key to actually manifesting your specific person and everything and anything that you want to experience with them. How is that possible? Well, first of all, let's break things down a little bit. Why would you say that unfavorable experience manifested with your SP? Chances are it manifested for one of two reasons. Either because, as I said before, you found yourself dwelling in unfavorable states for perhaps a little too long, and so unfortunately you had that unpleasant experience of what you don't want manifesting. Or, that's also very common, you became very complacent. Perhaps things were going very well for a while, and perhaps, without realizing, you started slipping into your old self little by little, day after day, a little slip up here, a little slip up there, and before you realized it, you had become very, very complacent. You were not watching your mental diet. You were giving in to reacting to the 3D, reinforcing the 3D with your thoughts and your assumptions and your energy. And so, before you realized it, you were back to your old self. You became complacent, and so then the unwanted thing with your SP manifested sort of as a wake-up call. And this is exactly, you guys, where I'm getting at. When I said that you can actually take that experience, that unfavorable experience, and turn it around into the key to manifesting your SP, this is exactly what I meant. Usually, when we manifest the opposite to what you want, that tends to be a slap in the face for most people. And it tends to be a wake-up call, at least if you're aware enough, like I believe most of you are watching this channel, to realize that, wait a minute, where had I been dwelling up until now? Did I actually let myself slip into states that don't align with what I want? Did I become too complacent and I wasn't watching my mental diet? I became my old self. I started watching the 3D and reacting to the 3D. And so then inevitably, I manifested the thing that I didn't want. Well, luckily for you, the good news is that this works both ways. So once you realize that the reason why you manifested something that you didn't want with your SP was because either you became complacent about your mental diet and your mental states, or because you straight out gave into negative states, opposing states, and they became dominant within you, and then of course they manifested. This is also, you guys, an excellent motivation to put you back on track. When things have gone not in the way that you wanted, not in the way that you intended and hoping, all of a sudden you are faced with a 3D that you don't like. This exact experience has the infinite, the amazing potential to kick you back into gear. Like I just said, it's a slap in the face and it's a wake-up call. And really what it does is wake you up. Wake you up to who you had been, what states you had been dwelling in, what thoughts and assumptions you had been entertaining. And it forces you, simply because you dislike it so much, to actually shape up and align to what you really want. So it's actually an excellent motivating factor for you to get back on track, to start with your affirmations again, to start with your inner practice again, your inner conversations, your visualizing, your scripting, your meditating, whatever you had been doing, to get back on track, to align your state with what you actually want, to stop giving in to thoughts and assumptions and energies that don't align with what you want, to stop giving power to the circumstances, to stop giving power to your thoughts that are telling you otherwise to what you want. And essentially, you are being pushed into becoming a master manifestor once again and getting back into the state that you had lost for a while. And this is, you guys, where the magic happens. You turn around your thinking, you turn around your assumptions, you start in earnest once again with your inner practice, you start being consistent again. Perhaps the unwanted situation in the 3D is even motivating you to become more determined and more disciplined within yourself. And before you know it, you are back into an aligned state. Before you know it, that becomes your dominant state. And once that happens, guess what happens? It starts getting pushed out, and this is when your 3D starts to shift, this time in your favor. Because the unwanted circumstance that might have hurt you, or at the very least annoyed you, is pushing you to be determined again, and to be disciplined again, and to be consistent again. And to once again reclaim your inner power, choose the reality that you want, claim it for yourself, and go for it. Whether we like it or not, this is part of human nature. When something opposing happens to us, when something we don't like happens to us, this is what pushes us to change. This is what motivates us to change. Why? Because we want to depart from that unfavorable circumstance. We want things to change. And so then it is when we become relentless. Relentless with our mental diet, relentless with our inner practice, relentless with our consistency, relentless with not letting in thoughts that are opposing to what we want, relentless with not giving power to circumstances and persisting in what we want. And this is how, you guys, we manifest our desires and we align with the states that we want to experience. And then what happens is that these states come to our reality and become part of our 3D. Which is why, if you are right now in the unpleasant position of having manifested things that you don't like with your SP, you should be using this experience instead of a source of added resistance as a source of motivation for you to step back into your power and start changing things in your favor. This is something that you can absolutely do. It's absolutely within your powers. It's all in your consciousness. All you need to do is shift your consciousness to the right states. Once you do that, things are going to start shifting and changing. And what was before your unpleasant experience, your unwanted, undesirable experience, has now become your blessing in disguise because it's pushed you to go back on track. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.